Talk for me in your...
Checkity, check.
In your YouTube voice.
Hi. That's it. I do really yell. Hi, it's Trixie Mattel, and today we're getting the Rimmel London look, babes. Hi, it's Trixie. I just got home from touring the UK and the Europe. I just got home from touring the UK and the Europe. Was there for like 6 weeks, and I pretty much tour with my normal little tour makeup bag, but I had to go down to Boots, and I had to check out some product that I'd not used before. Now, on this channel in the past, we've had like a video of all UK makeup. We did that again, and we've used a couple Rimmel products, but not like a full. Today we're doing like a full Rimmel shebang. And they used to sell Rimmel in the United States, but they don't anymore. And I'm interested in finding out why. So let's start getting the London look. I'm gonna glue my brows down and be right back. By the way, today's video is sponsored by our friends at Rocket Money. You guys, I have to tell you about a dramatic change I had in my life. I recently moved, and part of moving and being on tour, being away from home, is realizing how many things are in rotation automatically being debited from my account that I've never quite paid attention to. There's so many weird little finance things floating around, and unless you have something like Rocket Money in your life, you guys, I'm obsessed with it. This is something I feel extremely strong about. Basically, I have my mortgage, my checking account, my savings account, all of my inflow and outflow of cash and paychecks and all of that is linked to this app. So I can basically at any glance see how much money have I spent this week, what was it on, what little weird business expenses like fell through the cracks. My favorite thing to begin with was canceling my unwanted subscriptions. I saved, I'm not kidding, probably at least $100 a month when I got Rocket Money because I figured out so many weird little things I was paying for. Because I'm gonna tell you something, a lot of things in this world, they want you to subscribe to it and forget about it. And Rocket Money makes it very clear which little things you have forgotten about that you might not even use anymore. Something else you can do, you can upload one of your bills and Rocket Money will basically negotiate for you with your internet provider or your whatever, your cable provider, and try to figure out if there's a cheaper thing for you. Something else cool is it helps you monitor your credit score, you guys. I never even think about my credit score until it's time for me to have to think about it. And then suddenly it matters and I'm like, wow, I've spent years not even thinking about it. I wonder what that number is. Plus, you can start a budget. If you have no idea where to begin, you can actually decide what you want your budget to be. And then as you spend money over the month, your app is like, girl, you're getting fierce. Don't get too fierce. Or the app is like, hey, you're way under this spending, just so you know. To try it out for free and unlock more features with premium, head to rocketmoney.com/Trixie Mattel or click on the link in the video description. You guys, I feel like I know exactly where all my money is and what it's doing, and it just feels great. Check out rocketmoney.com/Trixie Mattel and start managing your personal finances today. I'm gonna start with the foundation. This is the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-Hour Hydration Boost SPF 20 Full Coverage Lightweight Foundation. Of all the foundations at Boots, this was listed as like the most full coverage. I have a Trixie Cosmetics sponge here. I'm gonna try to stay consistent with these videos with using the same tools because then we kind of know it's not the sponge, it's not the powder puff, it's not the brush, it's the product. The Trixie sponge is a heart. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put primer on. Freeze, pause. Let's give it a primer. Let's give it a little bit of a fighting chance here. No priming spray. You guys, I had a lot of pre-workout this morning. This is the Care Bears Pick Me Up Face Mist. So let's just like start a little wet. There was so much in that Care Bears collection. I didn't get to try everything. So I'm still slowly like a year later trying things. That does not smell like it should be on your face. It smells like berries. Antioxidant rich blueberry. Okay, there you go. Am I good or what? It's like I'm psychic, but I can tell what things are based on smell. I guess it's just called smelling. Anyway, this is the Rimmel London Fix and Perfect Primer, 5-in-1 primer. They had a lot of primers, and this was the most general primer. I didn't want to get like the hydrating one or the mattifying one. I was like, let's just get the do-it-all primer. Smells like nothing. And you guys know, you guys are so complimentary in this channel about my complexion. What you don't know is up close, I look like a homosexual kitchen sponge. So any sort of priming is usually good for me. Now we can go with the foundation. Now Rimmel says that this is a full coverage foundation. And I think for a drugstore foundation to say full, it better be super stay, color stay, something like that. I'm gonna go over it on a limb and say that that is a medium. And you know, I'll say this about the girls in the UK. The girls in the UK put on the makeup. Holy shit. The women at the meet and greets in the UK, you guys, double stack lashes, contouring, overdrawn lips, women in wigs. A lot of people who are not drag queens, they don't identify as drag queens, but they are in the trappings of drag queens. It's pretty crazy. We're gonna have to go in on this. This feels water-based to me. Nick, what's the first ingredient?
Water.
Do I know stuff or not? It's a very fragranced foundation. It smells like perfume. It smells like women's perfume. So you guys, I'm really putting it on, but do you see how a water-based foundation it looks still pretty skin-like. Would I pick it for drag? No. However, in my defense, they called it full coverage, and the lie detector test determined that that was a lie. The other thing about a water-based foundation is when you glue your brows down, it'll start to undo the glue. So you gotta be careful. So I was in the UK my last couple days in the UK, and I went over to, actually I was in Dublin, it's not the UK. I was in Dublin and I went over to the Boots and I was like, I'm just gonna get a good mix of drugstore products. And then I was standing at the Rimmel stall and I was like, but they have almost enough types of products to do a full face. I remember watching the Rimmel commercials. It would be like a blonde girl with a gap tooth with big far apart doll eyes. And she would be in like a raincoat and the voice would be like, let's get the London look. And it would be like a super close up of somebody's black mascaraed eye. I have a couple shades here. That first shade was called Golden Beige. It's a little dark for me, but you know, for drag, I like kind of a little tan. Then I have number 1, Pearl. So I think I'm gonna start using this just to kind of add some shape. It's really watery though, you guys. And the issue with water-based foundations for me is once you start sweating, once your body chemistry gets involved, water-based foundations go. It's basically pigment suspended in water. So once your body starts producing sweat, it turns back into makeup and just slips off your face. You guys, it smells so strong. It feels like I'm putting Elizabeth Arden Red Door all over my face. I'm gonna look at the ingredient list and see where perfume is on here. Ingredients are listed in what's the most in it to what's the least in it. So the first product, let's say water, it means it's mostly water. Perfume is in the middle, you guys. Perfume is in the middle. For a product like this, I don't think perfume should be in the middle. I don't know who wants to put makeup on and feel like my face smells good. Get close enough to smell me. We need to do a supercut of the number of times I've done this. I picked up some black liners. I was very pleased to see that they had 2 types of black pen liner. They have a Scandalize Precision Micro Liner, which looks like that. And they have Extreme Wear Waterproof Liner in Wonder Ink. That, whoa, that is black. I think we should give this a shot to do our little sketch here. You guys, my face reeks. Like my face smells like your grandma's purse right now. Let's get into the brows though. We have this Magnifies Spice Edition eye contouring palette. I tried to get something neutral. A lot of times for these trying a brand videos, I like to get a neutral because I feel like you can tell a lot about a brand based on what their version of a neutral palette is. Ooh. Hate this. You know who uses these? Kelly Mantle. Kelly Mantle uses sponge tip applicators. I'm gonna have to have a makeup intervention on this channel for Kelly Mantle. Let me know if you would watch that. I think we need to get Kelly Mantle here, open her makeup bag and ask when did the hurt begin? Because her products and her process, it's so weird, you guys. And she travels with a space heater that she turns on high right next to her while she gets ready. We got all Trixie brushes here today, so this is gonna help us make sure we have the best outcome. I'm just gonna choose one of these matte browns and I'm just gonna hope for the best. Oh, I used to have a friend named Matt Brown. That's not a joke. It's true. By the way, if anybody's following along, Katya and I were nominated for 3 different Streamy Awards and we lost all 3 of them. I stayed up until 3 in the morning in the UK, drunk to watch it, and I lost all 3. This is crazy. I recorded reaction videos because I thought we might win something. So every video is me like, I'm not a good loser, to be honest, which you'd think after a lifetime of, you know, experience, I would get better at it, but I don't like being nominated and not winning. I love the Streamies. You always get to meet some like, whatever random little secret YouTube channel you think no one watches, you will bump into that person at the Streamies and you're like, oh my God, I love your videos where you knit with your dog while talking about foreign wars. And they're like, thank you. Because there's a YouTube channel for everything. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is actually really nice. This is a really pretty formula. These mattes that I'm using here, I'm kind of starting down here. They're really hiding the texture. I mean, my brows are kind of disappearing. Did you guys see that? I'm gonna start looping it around on the bottom. I'm gonna take one of the smaller packing brushes here. You guys, these are really blendy. I know it's not a professional term, but they grab to the skin and then they diffuse really nicely. Oh, I'm in my living room because Dave and I started staying together a few days ago at my house down the street. So now a couple days a week, I'm here working, filming, sleeping, eating, living, and loving, but then like most of my belongings are at the other house. This formula, you guys, look how soft that is. I'm really impressed by this. I'll say this too for the name, Spice Edition, these are exactly the colors I think make sense for a palette like this. We have a brow micro pen. You guys, this is UK drugstore packaging, so you need scissors. These are the Trixie Beauty scissors. I kind of like it though, because I don't need people like opening a lipstick, inserting it into their mouth and putting it back. Just people are gross. If you work in retail, you know that people are gross and people do weird things. I think this is gonna be too dark. You guys, that's gonna be way too dark to just draw an eyebrow on with. Girlfriend, don't go there. So I'm gonna take one of my little angle brushes and I'm just gonna use one of these, probably this shade right here, to sketch some brows. Oh, I don't have to lick it. I'm not gonna lick it. Nick, shut up. Nick just saw me lick it. My face smells like women's perfume and this brush smells like blueberries. You guys, I'm such a fan of just using shadows for brows. It's just so easy. By the way, we were just talking about this. What do you guys want to see next year? You know, I'm gonna be home a lot more than this year, so we'll be able to do a lot of different types of videos. What do you want to see? Do you want to go to DragCon? I think I'm going to DragCon this year. We could do like a vlog from DragCon. I think if you guys could see what DragCon is like for the performers, you would be like, whoa, DragCon is crazy. It's like you go to the only place in the world where you are extremely famous. And so for one day, if you're a drag queen, it's hard to do anything. Pee, get food, walk to your car, because you've gone to the only place where people think that you're like literally Brie Larson, when in fact you're Uncle Buck. That's a nice little start, right? I mean, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the brow pens to define, but this is a good way to start. All right, so far, to be honest, for a water-based foundation, this does look good. And this eye palette looks good. So I think we should start with concealer. I'm gonna have the multitasker concealer. I have this in 3 shades. Conceals, brightens, covers up, 24-hour wear and hydration. This looks just like Shape Tape, the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer. This looks just like the CoverGirl component. So the colors I have, I mean, you guys, I grabbed the lightest, one of the darkest, and the medium. It's just easy for me at the store to know, like, no matter what, I can at least mix a color. It says it's a full coverage concealer. I have a couple shades here, and I'm just gonna take a small concealer brush from Trixie Cosmetics, and I'm gonna start sketching around the brow. Nice. Very smooth, you guys. It's a very smooth application. Look at that. It's the weirdest smelling concealer I've ever smelled. It's like somebody poured a bottle of poppers into a toilet with some scrubbing bubbles. It's like really, really a weird smell. That looks a little horrible. That's okay. Listen, not all makeup is good and not all makeup applications are successful. That looks good. All right, let's just start like pre-shaping the face. I'm gonna take the lightest concealer, and you guys have seen me do this before. It's kind of this might be a little light. It's almost like white on me, but I've been using a lot of self-tanner. You guys, I went to the UK for 6 weeks and I just started self-tanning myself to hell. Cause there, the standard for you can just have orange hands. People are like, oh yeah, that's your hands. People are like, nice tan, babes. And I'm like, I look like I rolled around an A1 sauce, but thank you so much. Wow, do you guys see that? It's compared to like Shape Tape or like the 16-hour camo concealer that we've used on this channel, because this is water-based, do you see how it just disappears very quickly? I think if you were using this for real makeup, if you had it close to your skin, it's kind of idiot-proof. All right, so let's start doing some lovely shaping here. I'm gonna do it with the foundation first. I've been doing my contouring with foundation instead of with concealer, and I don't know, it's been kind of working for me. This shade is Cinnamon 510. I'm gonna go in with the concealer. This is Coconut. Coconut, it's a weird name. Coconut vibes. It's not that I don't care about makeup anymore. It's that I want to enjoy it more. And so I'm only willing to sit down and put it on for as long as I feel like, which is why lately I've just been like ripping through it. Cause I'm like, just put it on. Just put it on and move on with your life. You know, makeup is about enjoyment. And sometimes for a few months, you're like, I'm gonna go in every day. And then for a few months, you're like, I don't feel it. I just wanna put on the minimal. And I've just been like, I guess borderline lazy, but calling it like efficient. But I've just been like, just put it on. Very weird smells going on in my face right now. A lot of smells. I will say, because it's water-based, it's not the most smoothing. Something silicone-based is usually more smoothing. I can see kind of an adequate amount of texture on my skin. Not as much as I would like to see. I would like to see less. You know, I'm gonna go back and say that I wouldn't describe this foundation as full coverage. I would describe it as medium, but very buildable. Because there really is a lot of pigment going on over here. I mean, with the concealer, obviously it helps, but a lot of pigment. A lot of pigment. Because I don't know what I'm doing. All right, I don't think this is exactly symmetrical, but I really like it. I think that looks pretty good. To finish it off, I'm gonna take a little more of my foundation in the deeper shade, and I'm gonna do some shading here. This is actually a really expensive shirt, so I hope I don't get any makeup on it. You guys, I wore this shirt to the Gay Times party that I went to a few months ago, and I knew Violet and Gottmik were gonna be there, and they're like my high school bullies. And so I was like, I'm gonna go to Fiorucci and buy like a fancy shirt so that if I see Violet, she's impressed by me. And like hoping Violet will get impressed by you is sort of like hoping your stepdad gets impressed by you. It's just like never gonna happen. So I remember I showed up to the party with this on, and it had just come out that day. It came out that day, and I bought it off the mannequin. Like, they were like, this collection comes out tonight. And I said, can I have it now? And they were like, sure, weirdo. So I go to the party, Violet doesn't care. Gowick doesn't care. And then I run into the designer of the shirt, Daniel, and he goes, how did you get that? And I go, it was on sale today. It comes out tonight. I got it a few hours early. He wasn't shady, but he was like, it's really weird that you have that. And I was like, well, I don't know. They had it at the store. I bought it. Christ. Oh, I'm gonna show you guys how I've been doing my nose. If you thought my nose used to be disgusting, wait till you see what I'm about to do. I've been painting it brown and then painting the white line instead of doing it the other way. So I started doing this and then I just paint the line on. I don't know what I'm doing. If you're ever watching my videos and you're like, what is this person doing? I want you to remember that people buy makeup from me and look at me. The world is so in need of guidance that they're like, please man paint it up like a hieroglyphic. Please help us. I'm gonna get as close as I can here. I think this is pretty good looking. I mean, for a drugstore water-based foundation and concealer with a drugstore, I mean, this looks good. The only powder they had was the Rimmel Match Perfection Loose Space Powder. I don't think this has great coverage, and I think we're gonna find out together. Oh, it comes with a puff. I hate sifters. I'm gonna get makeup on my expensive shirt. Oh God. Violet, why don't you like me? Do you guys ever just lay awake hoping Violet likes you? Just me? Okay. My nightmare, I think, is that I would walk up in drag and Violet would say no gorge and I would just like disintegrate. That's what I think would happen. It would be like Avengers, like I don't feel so well, like disintegration. It's at this stage in the makeup where I always feel like, have you guys ever seen those like viral videos of people who put makeup on eggs? They take the little like brown chicken egg and they put concealer and stuff on it. This is what I look like. The worst thing about those videos is they will wrap the egg in a towel so it looks like it's at a spa. People are so weird. At least I'm just home alone cross-dressing, not painting eggs. Not to mention, that's some chicken's baby. You're painting up the corpse of some chicken's baby like a little whore. I don't know about eggs. Anyway, I got this fluffy dual fiber brush from Trixie Cosmetics. These are great, you guys, for when you have tons of setting powder on and you're just looking to remove a little bit of it. You guys, the surface of my skin looks gorgeous. This looks so good. It looks so smooth. I look like porcelain. It's amazing. Let's start doing a little bit of powder though for a little extra coverage. I have 2 of these Stay Matte Rimmel powders before. Now I remember buying this powder when I was 18 or 19. I remember having this in my kit and I believe I bought it because it was the cheapest. It has a little bit of coverage, not much, but I'm just gonna kind of finish everything with this. And especially for my ridiculous nose, I love doing just a light veil of powder. It just helps it be slightly less ridiculous. So that's a chicken baby. You guys, I was vegan for a couple years actually. I was vegan for a good 1.5 years and my skin looked great, my mind, my body. You guys, I really had a hard time with no cheese. Let's just say I lived in Wisconsin. It's not exactly the easiest place to be vegan, but I think about it again, especially in LA, there's vegan options everywhere. This is maybe a secret preview, but this is a brush. Let's just say this is a brush we've never put out that I have, and maybe it means we'll make it, maybe we don't. Little flat, very short, thick, flat foundation brush. That's great for taking powders and applying under the eye. And maybe it means we're gonna make it. I don't know. You guys, when I worked at the makeup counters, if you leaked what was coming out, it was like a terminatable offense. And so even though I own this company, I still like live in fear of firing myself. I don't know. I have trauma about being fired. Okay, I joke about it, but I still have nightmares about all the jobs I was fired from. I have these micro brow pens we talked about. One is in soft brown and one is in dark brown. So let's take the soft brown. Compared to my other brow pens, you guys know I'm obsessed with the NYX one, and I'm obsessed with the Urban Decay double duty like brow pen. This is a very chody, chunky tip. So I'm not sure how like precise this is gonna get, but let's hope for the best. Yeah, so do you guys see that? It's really, this is me going really light. I prefer something really precise so I don't have to be so scared. I take it all back. That's really creepy. Look at that. Oh yeah. You guys, it's thick but hard. And so it's giving like a calligraphy pen. It's not really collapsing, and so it's not getting like a fat line. Oop, I just f***ed that up. Did you guys see that? I just f***ed that up. That's okay, whatever. So that was soft brown, and then I'm gonna take this other one, which is more of a dark brown, and let's just see. That looks like eyebrow hair. That looks like eyebrow hair. Look at that. Honestly, and anytime you have, I'm gonna tell you this, if you wanna get into brow pens, you know that little graphic of me bald, but it's a tip? Put that here now. When you have 2 different color of these brow pens, you guys, it looks so much better. So much better. That looks fucking fierce. All right, so now I'm gonna step off camera and I'm gonna do black and white gel liner because Rimmel did not make black or white gel liner where I was. So I'm gonna do that off camera and be right back. And we're back. I have some white and black eyeliner on. I don't know what brand it was. Who knows? But these two black liners, you guys, the Wonder Ink Extreme Wear Waterproof, which is the bigger one, and the Micro Scandalize liner, these are both fierce. I'm gonna take the bigger Wonder Ink one, and I'm gonna do some graphic liner on the bottom, and I just wanted to bring you guys on to show you, because look how black this is. I mean, this is like some princess you guys, but I love having a nice black liner and then having something just like it that's micro tipped just to do the ends. Look how pointy that is. Oh God, that gives me special feelings. I got the Trixie Cosmetics Lash Curler, the best lash curler in the world. Any mascara can be the best mascara if you have a great lash curler. Yeah, look at, they stick straight up now. See? You guys, I have the Rimmel Thrill Seeker. I love the name. Thrill Seeker Extreme Black. Creamy whipped formula, bold volume, weightless sphere, clump proof, smudge proof, 82% agree lashes look longer. Hate the bottle, hate this color. Love this type of brush. Love this type of brush. Really nice separation. And for that reason, maybe this isn't the mascara for me. It's very separating. Kind of looks like Maybelline Sky High, how it separates them and individually grows them. Nice. So far, you guys, unless this lip color and this blush and everything really flops, I found this all to be very impressive. Oh, I got two mascaras. This is Scandalized Volume on Demand. So I actually got two. Let's see what this one looks like. Oh my God. They used industrial NASA carpentry tape to close these products. Okay, I think I'm already gonna really like this more. I don't. I like the other one, but this looks more like Maybelline Colossal. This feels more like just a curling sort of volumizing formula, which is fine. I like both. I think that this Thrill Seeker is a little better, to be honest. All right, so we have to put some lips and some blush on. I got two liners here. Never mind. I don't think that my store had Rimmel liners. These are some Berry M liners. And in the past, I think I've actually liked Berry M. All right, the two colors I have, these are not Rimmel, these are Berry M. Russet and Sugar, because I have a Rimmel lip product. Oh God. What? Okay, is this two sides? What is this? Oh, it's a lip primer. That's stupid. I mean, sure, why not? I mean, to be honest, most of the time lip primers like this are basically like a paraffin base, like a thin wax base. For drag, I don't think that's necessarily gonna help me, but I put it on. All right, let's just use the product. So before I put this on, I'm gonna do some liner. Let's take this Berry M Russet color. I like to get really in there, so I'm gonna take this compact from Trixie Cosmetics and get in there. You see that? The Berry M liners are nice. They like heat up and blend without digging up my foundation. They're really nice. Beautiful color. Nice. So I'm gonna line Russet with Sugar, this like pinkier color, and bitch, this makeup's gonna turn out beautiful. You know what? After touring with the same makeup kit for like 2 months, to come home and sit down and do a makeup that actually turns out. You guys, these are like my favorite drugstore lip liners. These are so nice. The only other one I like a little more is maybe I like the Maybelline shaping lip liners, the mechanical or retractable shaping lip liners. I'm gonna put on this Rimmel. This is Lasting Provoca Lips. Hate that name. 16-hour lip color, transfer proof. Okay. I probably shouldn't have put on that primer. I think this is just gonna create an unnecessary like barrier between my skin and the product, but have you ever had too much pre-workout and then run by Akbar at 8 in the morning and thrown up? Anyway, I'm gonna put lashes on and come back. This is gonna be one of those nights we're gonna have to sock and drag because you look too good. It's gonna be one of those nights. Well, it's time to put on blush. So I have, by the way, I look incredible. This is Banoffee hair color from Vanity. For a while, Vanity was out of 613 Blonde and I was panicked and I bought this and it sat for like 2 years, but I kind of like the color. Do I look like someone else? Do I look like Coraline's like the other mother? This color's called, to be honest, they only had like 2 shades of blush. This is called Maxi Blush in Exposed. I don't think this is exactly a blush that I think is going to show up on my skin. This is like the darkest blush they had in stock. And to me, this is like really light. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna choose one of the Trixie Cosmetics, like small, not angled blush brushes because I really wanna like put it on. Let's see what happens. I mean, I do see it actually. I'm being a hater. It's beautiful. I mean, you know what? Not every blush, it doesn't always have to be hooker time. Sometimes you can just be a stripper. You don't have to go home with them, you know? That's beautiful. Okay. The way I can just like flip-flop on anyone or anything is actually a little sad. That is beautiful. I think it's probably too light for a lot of people, but this is Exposed. It's number 6, which I guess would mean there's at least 5 others. Really nice though. Maxi Blush, lightweight powder blush, gives cheeks a burst of color that lasts all day. Micro fine powder. I will say it feels very finely milled. Like I don't really see powder on my face, which is pretty impressive. And finally, I got the Rimmel Highlight in Buttery Soft Highlighting Formula in Highlight. That's a stupid name. Let's just be honest. That is stupid. Highlight, what? Highlight for when you're high? Oh, well, maybe if I like some of this, I'm actually going back to the UK in January for a certain television program. So maybe I'll restock some of this stuff because I actually really like it. I'm gonna take one of the Trixie Cosmetics little, it's technically an eye brush, but I love this for highlighter sometimes. That's a little not finely milled for me. To me, it looks like eyeshadow, to be honest. And there's a difference. Like, for example, like mica pigments are often like, if you look at them under a microscope, mica pigments are usually more angular shaped, like almost spikes. And then there's pearlized pigments, which are more spherical, and spherical pigments tend to be more like rounding and flattering, which is why a lot of times highlighters will boast like, it's a pearl formula, it's a pearlized formula. It's because the micronized pigment is round. This looks more like shattered. It really looks metallic. That's not my favorite look, but I do like it. I mean, I like it. So that's the final look. Let's go through, to be honest, of all the one brand videos we've done, especially using UK products, this is some of the best stuff I've ever used from one brand entirely. The primer, my skin looks great. This really looks beautiful. This foundation lasting finish, while it is water-based and I would say medium buildable coverage, it built up to something really pretty, don't you think? I mean, like it looks very, very smooth. So all of these complexion products impressed me. The multitasker concealers, nice blend out, nice pigmentation, water-based, very easy to use. Match Perfection Rimmel powder. This was really, really, really nice. Really nice. These Stay Matte powders, they're fine. I preferred the Rimmel Lasting Finish powders that we used in the last UK video. Those were better. These are definitely like blot powders. They're not powder foundations by any means. Maxi Blush, love it. Highlight, fine. We tried 2 mascaras. This Scandalized Volume on Demand is fine. This Wonder Volume Thrill Seeker, beautiful. It looks like your lashes are little skyscrapers. It looks perfect. These brow markers are sickening. I mean, with this darker hair color and all these sort of like textured stripes, having a brow that looks like you have fuzzy, bushy brows, nice, really nice. The black liners are gorgeous. Scandalized Micro Eyeliner. This is more for like, if you have a fetish for perfect eyeliner, get this. But honestly, this Extreme Wear Waterproof Black Liner is black. This looks nice and matte. It's beautiful. Okay, honorable mention, these Berry M liners are beautiful, but they're not Rimmel. The lip color is nice. Previously, the other Rimmel lip color that we did on this channel was also beautiful. So maybe Rimmel's like the Maybelline of the UK, because in my experience, Maybelline makes probably the best drugstore makeup, and this is the best UK drugstore makeup I've used. It is beautiful. I would be happy to go to like this, go on stage like this. This looks the way I would like it to look. And I feel like a lot of time with drugstore videos, we're making do. At no point in this makeup did it feel like I was trying to force a product to work. So those of you whores who like to see me struggle, sorry to disappoint you. Sorry that I'm winning. The shadow magnifies, beautiful. I only used 2 of the matte shadows, and then on the lid, do you see how it's the shimmery white? It's this shimmery white all the way on the end. Beautiful. Maybe one of the best drugstore eye palettes I've used. Everything else we used was Trixie Cosmetics. Obviously it was impeccable. But congratulations, Rimmel. These are some of the most amazing drugstore products, and this is really cool. Congratulations. Thank you for joining me on the channel. If there's anything from Rimmel that I missed, or if there's anything you want to see me use next time I'm in the United Kingdom, comment below. And goodbye.